Hello, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Nurhawani Binti Samsudin, and I will present about the assignment one, which is the presentation about negotiation techniques or guideline. Now, I will tell you a little bit about the situation or the scenario of the issue. You buy a new pair of sling bag on sale. The printed receipt states very clearly that the sling bag are not returnable. After you get them home, you wear the sling bag around the house for a day and decide that they just don't suit you. So you take the sling bag back to the store. The clerk points to the message on the receipt, but you don't let that discourage you. You start to yell angrily about the store's poor quality service so that people at the store started to stare. The clerk calls the store manager. After some discussion, the manager agrees to give you your money back. So, all of this scenario is about buying the non returnable sling bag and attempted to return them. The first one is ethics, which is focuses on the outcome or consequences of an action. The morality of an action is determined by its result. And in this scenario, the buyer's action can be seen as ethical because they achieve the desired outcome, which is getting the refund. And the fourth one is doesn't consider the means by which the result was achieved, potentially ignoring harm to relationship or reputation. The positive outcome of this ethic is, of course, the buyers get the refund, while the negative outcome is the buyer damage their reputation and may be banned from the store. The second negative outcome is the buyer creates a hostile work environment for the store employees. And the last negative outcome is the buyer sets a bad example for other customers. Now let's move to the second ethics, which is the duty ethics. Duty ethics emphasizes the actions themselves rather than the outcome. The actions are considered right or wrong based on the set of rules, not on their consequences. But in this scenario, the buyer's actions are seen as unethical because they disregarded the store return policy and created a scene. It promotes a sense of responsibility and respect for rules and policies. The positive outcomes is the buyer upholds their duty to comply with the store's policy and the buyers maintain a positive relationship with the store. While the negative outcome from this ethic is the buyer is unable to return the sling bag and is stuck with an unwanted item and the buyer feels cheated and frustrated. The third ethics is social contract ethics, which is based on mutual respect and societal rules. It emphasizes the importance of adhering to societal norms and agreed upon rules. In this scenario, the buyer would have respected the store's policies and refrained from causing a disturbance if following this approach, help maintain peaceful and respectful relationship within society. The positive outcome of this ethic is the buyer and seller reach a fair and mutually agreeable solution, and the buyer and seller maintain a positive relationship. While the negative outcome of this ethics is the buyer and seller are unable to reach an agreement, and also the buyer and seller feel resentful towards each other. The fourth or the last ethic stated is the personalistic ethics, which is prioritize individual belief and values. Actions are justified if they align with the individual's personal ethical standards. And in this scenario, the buyer's action could be justified if they believe in standing up against what they perceive as an unfair policy. And the last one is can be subjective and may not be aligned with societal norms and rules. The positive outcome of these ethics are the buyer prioritizes their own personal interests and desires, and also the buyer gets what they want. while the negative outcomes of these ethics is the buyer disregards the personal interests and desires of the store employees and other customers, while the other negative outcomes is the buyer damage their reputation and also their relationships. From my perspective, the best approach is social contract ethics. This is because this approach appears to be the most balanced, promoting both a personal responsibility and social harmony. It encourages individuals to respect societal rules and the right of others, leading to a more harmonious interaction in society. However, it is important to note that there are a potential negative outcome associated with any ethical approach. Ultimately, the best course of action will depend on the specific circumstances of the situation. In a real life situation, I would likely try to negotiate a fair and mutual agreeable solution with the store manager. I will explain that I was unaware of the store's policy and that I would be willing to return the slim back for a store credit or an exchange. I will also apologize for any inconvenience I caused. I believe that it's important to act ethically in all situations, even when it is difficult or inconvenience. By doing so, we can create a more just and fair society for everyone. Thank you. That's all from me regarding the assignment one presentation about the negotiation techniques or guideline.